Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Reese. This is their part number S247A, and this is what's called a threshold assembly component in a mill aluminum finish. This is a piece that's used generally with other pieces of aluminum extrusion, okay? And let's start off with some basic dimensional properties of this item. Overall width of the item, about 3" Its overall height, looks like it's about 3/8, and then down here should be about 1/8. Okay. The dimension from the leading edge to that transition, about 1 7/8 inches. So that should be 1 1/8 over here on the other end. Yeah, that makes sense. Something in that range. Okay, so the weight. Let's find out what this weighs. About 1 foot of this weighs about 0.42 pounds, so just less than a half a pound. 7/16 of a pound per foot of this material. So a 3-foot piece is going to be about 1 3/8 pounds or so. A threshold assembly. Now let's talk about what that actually means. Okay, so the question is, what is a threshold assembly? And this is used as a component when you're building a custom threshold, in the sense that this is a piece that you can place other pieces to work with this to give you a threshold that doesn't otherwise exist. And what that means is, in the world of gasketing, thresholds, perimeter gasketing, sweeps, door bottoms, anything that you want to think about when it comes under the umbrella of weather stripping, not everything that you can imagine is available. And that's probably a limitation of the extruding process, how big of a die set or what type of die set is needed to make parts. So many times customers will say, oh, I need it to be like this. Well, that doesn't exist. And when we get into that realm of it doesn't exist, we really think of 3 options. Change what you want to something that's commercial, change what you'll use to something that's commercially available. 1. Solution 3 is that you look at threshold assembly components like the whatever this is, S247, and that's what this is going to be used for. So the best thing to do at this point is to switch to the screen view, and I will show you images of this, but also the supporting documentation. Okay, let's start off with some images that we have. That's just an image of the cross section of it. Close-up of the leading edge. So this is going to be part of a threshold that you can build that would be 3/8 overall high or tall. And there would be a component that may sit into here. Let's take a look at the rest of these images. There's a little bit more of it. You can see that it has a relief underneath here. The back side of it, then the underside of it. Okay. Now let's look at, here's your drawing from the manufacturer. 3/8, 1/8 inch, that leaves a 1/4 inch nominally over here. Extended description information, mill aluminum finish, that's the A in the part number. Fire rated, handicap accessible. Mentions fasteners, and if you need to install this in a fire rated opening or assembly, you'd want to indicate the prefix F so that there's a paper trail that it was ordered correctly. The installation instructions are extremely generic in nature. I was saying that the installation instructions are extremely generic in nature. Measure twice and cut once is what it says. This is what you'll see in most every one of their thresholds. So since that doesn't provide specific guidance, we are relying on the expertise of the installer to accomplish that. Product brochure, if we go to page 2, we're going to see the S247, and it's right here. The D means dark bronze finish. We'll talk more about their finish in a moment. But the point of the matter is, this is a assembly component that can be used to build yourself, as I said earlier, a threshold that doesn't otherwise already exist, such as this assembly example right here. This is 1 inch, 1 inch. Then you can throw a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1/8, 7, 8, 9, and 10 inch wide. I'm sure they can do much, much wider than this as well, in the sense that I think I did a 20-inch threshold once, and it was welded together using components like this. So you can easily get out to using the S247, you can get out to a 12-inch saddle threshold that's 3/8 tall. Let's wrap up this video on camera, but before we do that, there's a link here to the manufacturer's page. When you click on that, you can pull up not only all of the Reese products that we sell, those common items listed here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to their full-line catalog. All right, let's wrap this up on camera. In conclusion, the name Reese is synonymous with a relatively petite but absolutely full product line of gasketing options. I prefer them. They're my go-to for a number of reasons. Quality. The material seems clean, it seems nice, it's heavy, the extrusions seem thicker, okay, every single time, it always does. So don't hesitate to consider Reese. You may not have heard of them, but if you haven't, absolutely look in their catalog. And if you want the weather stripping to look just as good as everything else you're doing on the job, they're my go-to. And I'll tell you, they're really, I was about to say they're not the least expensive, and they're probably not, but they're not the most expensive either. Any questions on anything Reese related, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you.